Good morning. It is 7:03 a.m. on Wednesday, January 26th, 2022. Wow, almost every piece of that was kind of like a struggle to say, was it? Oh yeah. Okay. I'm Christiana Ellis and I just got up. That part's not hard to remember. This is 5 more minutes. Yeah, this is another low brain day. I actually well, I shouldn't say that. It's low brain early morning. I'm sure I will improve once I get some caffeine. Uh, I just checked the results of COVID test yesterday, from yesterday, and negative again. You know, because I am periodically, still going into the office. I take advantage of the testing that they're providing there, and it's a little bit of a reassurance getting one of those PCR tests every week. But like even though I've not been like knowingly exposed to anybody, there's still just a little bit of a tension every time, getting ready to check the results. Like it's probably negative, right? I mean, probably. Really? Like sure. I mean, it's probably negative, isn't it? Is it? Well, what will it be? And then it was negative again. So but then again, lots of people I know who are careful end up getting it anyway, so it's definitely something worth being cautious about still. I ended up weirdly like having a hard time getting to sleep last night because I typically don't have trouble getting to sleep, but I sort of like it may be entirely in my imagination, but I had the sense, without getting into any details, that I said something like nothing wrong with what I said, except in that I had, you know, inadvertently stepped into a sensitive subject for another person. And again, like I said, they didn't say anything. So it's quite possible that I am entirely imagining any awkwardness. But my brain suddenly spun up into like, oh my gosh, that was so dumb to say that. And oh, isn't it awkward now? And everything's weird and hard and blah. Um, and that kept me awake for a little while. Now, thankfully, that's not something that happens to me very often. But it did last night. And so that just made me end up having an extra hard time getting to sleep last night. But, like sometimes that happens, and sometimes sometimes you actually like the thing is probably it was at least a little awkward, even if only because it felt that way to me. So it's not necessarily that I'm imagining things, but also that happens, like it's not really something worth losing sleep over. So eventually you can kind of just try, you can talk yourself down a little bit, or at least that's what I tried to do, and it eventually worked. And in the morning, it feels kind of silly that it was anything that I spent any time worried about. Like, it's one thing to say, when possible, try not to make other people uncomfortable. Um, when that which can be taken too far, of course. But in general, you're trying not to create awkwardness and discomfort for other people. Um, but also like I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. Like it's just weird. Mostly what I'm getting at right now is that like I had kind of a weird like mental mini spiral trying to go to sleep last night, and then as I wake up I'm like, oh yeah, no, never mind, that's dumb. I shouldn't have worried about that. I have a couple of things on my mental agenda today. We had a fun session of Dungeons and Dragons last night as the adventurers began to explore the elemental plane of fire and just kind of imagining that landscape. And it's really kind of it's a fun place that we haven't visited in any of my campaigns before, and so that's fun to explore. And I'm trying to get fully caught up on the So Many Levels podcast feed, which I only have to. I'm now caught up through. I only have to post Saturday's uh, root session and then this most recent So Many Levels main campaign, and then should be all caught up. So that'll be good. And my body's still trying to wake me up. So I'll go ahead and leave it there for now, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes.